Hi class, this is Ms. Moreno-Garcia, and today's video lesson is for you to start and finish your next project, which is a probability and statistics shoe project, okay? This is found in the week that we're going to be working with, week number 8. So when you go to week number 8, you are going to go to the upload probability and statistics project. When you click in there, the instructions are given to you. So you would need to download the communications project probability, which is the instructions that you need to follow, what you need to do. And you also need to download the technical memo guidelines, which is the way that we want you to make sure that you not upload it, but put it in order, or present your presentation in this order here. Okay. The next one that you're going to download is a sample shoe project probability that we had last semester or last year, I think, but it's not the same, guys. Okay, because this project right here has to do with the pavement. Okay, this semester has to do with the shoes. Okay, so you're gonna have to make some modifications when you're typing. You cannot just cut and paste, because this has to do with the parking lot pavements or parking lots that they created, and we are going to be working with shoes that people wear in order to make the pavement of the parking lot. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do, again, you need to make sure you download these here. We're going to go ahead and read the communications project. What is the main goal for us to do in this project? The goal of this assignment is to analyze the type of shoes students, faculty, and staff members wear on campus. Provide the recommendations based on the results of analysis. The purpose of the project is to explain the role of the probability in statistics using the probability rules for the analysis of the data. The assignment will assess the following student learning outcomes. SLO4, explain the role of probability in statistics. Okay, so this is the project instructions. Before the new school year, the Office of President decided to change the pavement on the campus. They requested the recommendations from several contractors. Before making a final decision, they need to choose a type of road cover that would fit the campus style, will be pleasant to walk on, long-lasting, and of course, affordable. One of the deciding factors will be the type of shoes students wear, faculty and staff members. TSC survey team collected the data that shows the distribution of shoes worn by students, staff, faculty on TSC campus, and filled out in the table below. Yes, the campus is closed. You can't collect any data, but you will help to analyze it. Now, the Office of President needs your help to analyze the data and provide pavement recommendations. So again, because the campus is closed and we cannot go out and about and survey what type of shoes students, faculty, and staff wear on TSC campus, we made this two-way table, a contingency table that we have here, where you're just gonna fill in some boxes so that way not everyone has the same contingency table. So in this one here, what you would do, wherever you have numbers, you will leave those same numbers, and you would just put whatever question they're asking you, the number that is the answer for. For example, for men wearing sandals, you're going to fill it in with how many credit hours do you take the semester. So if you're taking 12 hours, so you would put the number 12 here, not the question. Do not put the question, how many credit hours do you take? Just put the number 12, okay? If you're taking 9, so you put the number 9. If you're taking only 3, you put the 3 here. Again, you're not writing the question, you're answering the question and putting the number here. And for the dress shoes, men, how many men wore dress shoes? Again, you're gonna answer the question. Your month of birth, if it's If it's August, then you put the 8. If it's October, then you put the 10. If it's January, then you put a 1. Okay, the 12 is going to stay there. You're going to add all of these here. So we have 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So we have 32 plus 12 is 44. Okay. Your age, whatever your age is, if you're 18, you're going to put 18. If you're 25, you're going to put 25. If you're 36, you're going to put 36. Okay, the 12, the 26 are going to stay there, and your shoe size rounded to the nearest whole number. If you're 6.5, you're going to put 7. If you're 12.5, you're going to put 13. If you're 6, you're going to put 6. Okay, so then you add all of these. We have 25 plus 12 plus 26 plus 7. This is 70. And then, of course, you're going to add here, and you're going to get your total for these right here. And then the total has to be the same. So your total is going to be 44 plus 70. It's going to be 114. Whether you go by column or by row, it has to be the same. If it's not the same, you did something wrong. Okay, so this is the first step that you're going to do. The second step, moving to our next one, students need to complete the table, perform the data analysis, and provide the results in form of a report to Dr. Roberto Rodriguez, the president of Texas Southmost College. The project file should be saved using your last name, first name initial, the section number, and the word probability. For example, for Peter Griffin from Math 1342.28, it will be Griffin P period 1342 period 28 period probability. Your results should be stated in complete sentences, grammatically correct, and written in paragraph form. Okay, so now use the data collected by the TSC survey team to answer the following questions, and don't forget to show your work. Remember, guys, a lot of you do not show your work. This is a project. It's going to be a test grade, so you need to show your work. Okay, well, you can use paper and pencil. You can use your document form. You can use your Word doc, whatever you need to use to show your work. It is a test, so showing your work is part of your grade. Now, the first one, it says here, introduction. Create a header on the technical memo that includes to, from, subject, and date. Write the introduction paragraph following provided examples. See the memo. You will need to follow the project description on the first page of this PDF. Again, which is that memo? That is the second worksheet that you were supposed to download, and you're going to follow this memo. So here you're going to put to Dr. Jesus Roberto Rodriguez, your full name, the subject, elementary statistics, and the date. Okay, I'm not too sure about the subject. Let me see here. Subject and date. Okay, good. Then the subject, I think the subject is paving, probability, and is paving the, let me see. Yes, it's pavement recommendations. Subject is not the subject that we're in class. It is, what is this memo about? It is the pavement recommendations, pavement recommendation. Okay. So again, we're going to go back to the technical here. So it's to Dr. Jesus Roberto Rodriguez, your full name, pavement recommendations, the date. Remember that this is an example that you're not going to copy exactly the way it is, because if we read it, it is about the parking lot project. We're not doing a parking lot project. We're doing a pavement recommendation project. Okay, so this report is to provide recommendations on the pavement recommendation project that is due on December the 5th. The project will result in the creation of new pavement recommendation, these designated for students, as well as improvement to the existing ones. This project will work to increase the pavement improvement. What else? and provide a safer walking area. The recommendations for improvement are based on the finding listing below. Again, you're gonna have to change some wording here, okay? Make sure you do not have parking lot project. It is not a parking lot project, okay? It is a pavement improvement project. Now, note this should be modified to fit our project. Our project is not about the parking lot, but the pavement on the campus. The statistical analysis here, this should be your heading for this section, okay? In this section, you will include the following information in the exact order. You're going to include the statistics questions 1 through 3, and data collection, sampling technique, and population sample in paragraph form. Okay, which are those questions? Let me see where they are. I think they're found in the other one. Okay, those questions are found in your communication project. In here, it says number 2, statistic questions. Select a data collection method and describe how it could be used to count shoes on campus. Remember that we didn't go to campus and we didn't observe what type of shoes the students, staff, or faculty is wearing. So this is where you're going to come up with a data collection method that you think would have been best for you to be able to do that survey if we could have gone to TSC campus. Select a sampling method and describe how it could be used to select participants for the example. Again, number 2, it's what do you think would be the best sampling method for you to have this, to describe how it could be used to select the participants for the sample. Again, this is something that we cannot do because we cannot go out, but you are able to figure out what would have been the best method here. Number 3, what is a population and what is a sample in this project? Number 4, construct a bar graph to illustrate the distribution of different shoe types. And number 5, what can you tell me about the results of the graph? Your conclusion must include a distribution of genders, males, females, and distribution of different types. All of those questions are going to be answered here in this statistical analysis. Now, if you look at the sample shoe project that someone turned in last semester, this is where you're going to be working with, okay? This is your two-way table. This is how you can put it together. Again, it's not going to be exactly, okay? You cannot do exact what it says here because then you may not use this exact wording or example for your project. Doing so will earn you a 0 on the project due to plagiarism, which is cheating. Remember, this is a test grade. You just modify it to fit your project. Again, after all of this here that you're modifying it to fit the project, remember this one has to do with the parking lot. We're doing the pavement recommendation to see which one is better with the type of shoes that the students are wearing or the faculty or the staff. So you're gonna have your two-way table here or the contingency table here. Notice that there's a bar graph. Here we learned how to do bar graphs by using our Excel. You can go back to that video. And again, here it says from the graph, this is the conclusion. So from the graph, you can see that there are more women observed than men. We can also see that more men wore athletic shoes when compared to women. However, women were more likely to wear the other 3 types of shoes: sandals, dress shoes, and shoes that fall into the other category. This is where you're going to make sure that you have at least 3 comparisons. My rule of thumb is if you're going to be comparing things, make sure you have something that compares more than the other, has something that compares less than the other, and have something that compares the same as the other, okay? If you don't know what to compare, then just look at something that one has more than the other and compare that, okay? And then find something else that one has less than the other one, and then find something that they're more or less equal, okay? Again, you should be answering the questions that they asked us in here. Okay, let me see. In the project communication, number 5, what can you tell about the results of the graph? Your conclusion must include a distribution of gender. Okay, remember for that one, the gender here, more women observed than men. That's one way that you can do that one. The other one here, it says, and the distribution of different shoe types. Okay, so the student did however, men wore athletic shoes when compared to women, and women were more likely to wear the following 3 shoes. Okay, so there you go. Those 3 things were mentioned, and you're done for that one. Okay, for the next one here that we're going to do is the probability questions. So let's go back to the technical memo. Okay, shoe probability analysis. This should be your heading for this section. In this section, you will include all of your mathematical work and answers for the probability questions below. Remember, guys, this is a test grade, so you need to show your work. You need to show your work. So this is the order you're going to present your questions and your answers with the work. Question 1, parts A through E. Question 2, parts A through B. And questions 3, parts A through B. Okay, where are those? These are the questions. Question 1, A through E. If you pick one of the people in your data set, what is the probability that the person is a man? Wears athletic shoes? Please do not tell me that what is a man is 3 out of, I don't know, 45, whatever you observe. Okay, you need to make sure you show the work. 3 divided by 45 is equals to, I don't know, I'm just gonna make up numbers here, 0.3587, which is approximately 35.9%. Okay, you need to show your work. How? If you're going to wear the athletic shoes, the same thing, make sure you show everything here. Okay, don't just put 3 over 45. How did you know that it was 3 out of 45? Well, there's 3 men out of 45, okay, or wears athletic shoes and so forth. Let's see, pick a person in probabilities. A man wears athletic shoes. Is a man, or remember when we have the word or, what formula are we going to use? Is a person wearing sandals? Given that, remember this is your conditional probability. And is wearing sandals, and remember what we use for the word and. So these are your keywords here. Or what do we do? The given is a conditional probability, and the and. You can go back to your notes and find those formulas in your notes to know how to answer these questions. The next one, number 2. Next, if you pick 2 different people from your data without replacement. Remember, guys, without replacement means that you're not putting that name back. Okay, what is the probability that both are wearing athletic shoes? So that means if the first one was 3 out of 45, then the second one is going to change because you did not replace it. Now you don't have 45 as your total. Now you have 46. I mean, not 46, 44, sorry, 44. Okay, and whatever, now you have 2. Okay, because as both are wearing athletic shoes, and remember you multiply. So without replacing means that the second probability gets affected. Okay, it's going to have 1 less than whatever you had because you did not put it back. The first man is wearing athletic shoes, and the second woman is wearing a dress. Remember, this is the and, so you're going to multiply. The first man is wearing athletic shoes. Let's just say that is 3 out of, well, let's just say that is 7 out of 45. And the woman is wearing dress shoes. Well, now you don't have 45. Now you have 44. And how many women are there? Well, there's 9. I don't know. This is based on your table. This is based on your table. But remember that it's without replacement, so your totals change. You're going to have 1 less on the second one. Okay, let's go to the next one here. Number 3. Finally, if you pick two people with replacement, okay, this is with replacement, that means your total stays the same. Okay, what is the probability that both are wearing athletic shoes? So you have 3 out of 45 times, well, you have, now you put it back, so there's still 3 out of 45. Okay, remember that your totals do not change because you put it back, so you're starting all over again. Letter B, the first is a man wearing athletic shoes, and the second is a woman wearing dress shoes. Again, if we have 7 out of 45 times 9 out of 45, notice that your totals do not change because you replaced it, you put it back. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next one here. Conclusion. Make sure, let's look at the technical memo here. Notes for this section. Okay, do not include the question number or point value. Instead, write the actual question that you are answering. Again, what they want you to do is you need to make sure you ask the question. Finally, if you pick two people with replacement from data, what is the probability that both are wearing athletic shoes? So what you're going to be saying is like in the sample, okay? Notice in the sample, I'm not cutting and pasting the question. You're answering the question. If one person is chosen from the sample, the probability the person is a man is, then you show your work here. If one person is chosen from the sample, the probability the person wears athletic shoes is, again, your answer, do the work. Okay, you're not cutting and pasting the questions that you have here. Finally, you pick the two people. You're not doing that. You're answering the question, okay, with your answer. The next thing we have is a conclusion. Connection of probability and statistics, at least 2 paragraphs. You can use the examples from part 2 and part 3. Hint, the law of large numbers states that as the number of repetitions of an experiment is increased, the relative frequency obtained in the experiment tends to become closer and closer to the theoretical probability. Remember what we talked about when it comes to the law of large numbers, that the probability is unpredictable in the short run. But when you do it many times, you can more or less figure out what the probability is going to be. And we did the example with a coin. When we flipped the coin 2 or 3 times, sometimes it was 100%, sometimes it was 33%, sometimes it was 67%, sometimes it was 45%. But when we did it 200, 300, 400 times, our probability was getting closer to 50%, because on the long run it's predictable. Okay, so tips for this discussion: define probability. That's one way that you can start your paragraph. Define statistics. Talk about how probability depends on statistics. Talk about how statistics depends on probability. Okay, so let me see what the sample shoe project says on the conclusion. Here it is. To provide a better recommendation for the payments redesign, I applied the probability rules and performed the statistical analysis of the data obtained by TSC survey team. I was able to do so because this is where you would put the connection of probability and statistics here, at least 2 paragraphs. From my data analysis, I observed that, for example, most women wear dress shoes while most men on campus wear athletic shoes. While you can walk on any type of sidewalk in athletic shoes, wearing dress shoes on gravel will be very uncomfortable. At least 2 paragraphs here. Before you make your final decision, there are some other variables and factors that you should consider, and then you discuss those here. Okay, what other factors? Were there some notes here for you to discuss? Do not include the question number or point value. Instead, write the actual question that, I'm sorry, move that one. Let's see. Okay, I'm in the wrong one. Let's go to the communication project. What observations can be made from your data? At least 2 paragraphs. These are some questions that you can keep in mind. Was there a specific shoe that didn't appear in your sample? Why? Was there a specific shoe that did appear in your large quantities? Why? Do you believe, though, that shoe appeared the most? Do you believe that your sample is a good representation of college? Why? What factors might have affected your research? What might have caused your sample to be skewed? Again, those are going to be found in here in the conclusion. And let's go to the sample one here. And it's right here. From my data analysis, I observed, and this is part of your conclusion in your project. So you're just rewriting it. And before you make your final decision, there are some other variables. Again, the questions that I read previously are the ones that you can answer and discuss those here. Based upon the data found in my data collection and probability calculations, I suggest that you consider top choice of payment and second choice of payment to your top 2 payment options. These are the 2 best options for TSC student, faculty, and staff, because then you're going to insert reasoning for both here. Make sure to include information from your data, either the contingency table, bar graph, or probability questions. Let's go ahead and see how they are, what questions we are being asked. Here you go. Given the different payment options, you may include some of your own suggestions. Propose 2 top payment choices. Your choice should fit to the campus style, will be pleasant to walk on, long lasting, and of course, affordable. Explain your reasoning and make sure that reference your data to support your reasoning. Okay, so I'm not sure what type of payments are there. So you might want to Google what type of payments are there for road pavements or anything like that. And you might have to do a little bit of research to know what type of payments they have. You need at least 3 of them, or no, and here it says 2, at least 2 types of pavements that you recommend. Again, you might have to do a little bit of research. Google the type of payments we have for paving roads. Okay, again, here, note you may not use this exact wording or example for your project. Doing so will earn you a 0 on the project due to plagiarism or cheating. At the end, I will be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you sincerely, your name and your contact information. If you just want to make up a number, that's fine. You can make up a number. You don't have to give me your exact real number, but you can just make it up here. Okay, guys, so make sure that this is a very useful template that you can look at to create yours. But again, you're going to have to modify it to fit our project. Our project is not the type of parking lot we're going to be doing. It is the type of pavement we're going to be putting on this parking lot. So that way we are able to walk more comfortable or walk more safely, and also, of course, saving money to make this pavement be more affordable. Okay, so again, you are going to need your communications project here, so that way you have the questions and the table that you're going to be using, questions and tables. You're going to need the technical guidelines. How are you going to put all of this together, and in what order are you going to put this together? And then, of course, your sample shoe project that a student did that you can follow but not copy. Okay, guys, hopefully this helps you, and I'll see you in class. Thank you.